Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Present in Poetry sharing session. Present in Poetry is a workshop that we did in collaboration with the Book Bus and Wood Warriors. So we came together to do this poetry workshop. हामीले चाहिँ यो प्रेजेन्टेड पोइट्रीको पाइलट सेसन चाहिँ हाम्रो बुक बस इन्स्ट्रक्टर्स वुड वरियर्स इन्स्ट्रक्टर्सहरूसँगै गरेका थियौँ र त्यसपछि चाहिँ यो नयाँ वर्कसप यो जुन यो अब हामी भर्चुअल स्पेसेसमा जुन वर्कसप गरिरहेको छौँ त्यो कसरी गर्ने कसरी गर्दा राम्रो हुन्छ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो पाइलट सेसनले हामीलाई धेरै सिकायो र अहिले जुन लास्ट विक चाहिँ हामीले 10जना 10जना जति हाम्रो नयाँ पार्टिसिपेन्ट्सहरूसँग यो वर्कसप थालेका थियौँ आज हामीसँग चाहिँ 8जना पार्टिसिपेन्ट्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ जसले चाहिँ आफ्नो पोइट्री सेयर गर्नु लाग्नु भएको छ and this is again a very intimate kind of space as I was explaining or as I was talking to our participants agi bhakkar before we went live that if this were in a physical space it would be like हुन्छ नि अलिकति पहिलो बत्ती some fairy lights some intimate gathering mic पनि छैन हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो खाले intimate gathering मा चाहिँ हामीले यो sharing session गरेर हुन्थ्यो मलाई अहिलेको यो जुन virtual world मा हामी छौँ or virtual world मा जसरी हामी connect गरेर छौँ it has been a pretty amazing experience to see how we can have what we do in our physical spaces when we do our workshop in physical spaces to do it online. It has been challenging, but it's also been rewarding in its own ways, I think. I think we're going to discuss about this later on as we finish up this sharing session. So your sharing session is also pretty interesting to me right now because it's like right in the middle, like sandwiched between हाम्रो जुन अगाडिको सेसन भएको थियो जुममा हाम्रो पार्टिसिपेन्ट्सहरूसँग अहिले तपाईँले देखिरहनु भएको छैन तर म चाहिँ देखिरहेको छु जुममा हाम्रो अरू पार्टिसिपेन्ट्सहरू पनि they're ready and nervous and also excited to share and यसपछि पनि we're going to go back into our Zoom and going to be like oh my god कस्तो भयो के भयो हुन्छ होला so I'm very looking forward to that as well. Okay, so आज चाहिँ हामीले यो sharing session चाहिँ कसरी गर्न लाग्छौँ भन्नाले हाम्रो usually slamहरू गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ a performer comes up on stage, they have certain minutes to do their poem, and then people in the audience give them scores, right? Like 3 देखि 5 जना people in the audience give them scores. तर आज चाहिँ हामीले यो gratitude slam को format मा sharing session राखेको छौँ जसमा चाहिँ we're gonna invite our performers, our participants to come up and share their poems. अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ we're going to be 3 or 4 people, 3 to 5 people from the audience who will be giving them token of appreciation through words. So they can give them anything. They can give them a piece of sky, they can give them drizzling rain, they can give them lipstick, they can give them like whatever moves them, whatever the poetry उहाँको पोइट्रीले तपाईँलाई के दिन token of love, token of appreciation दिन move गरिरहेछ त्यो दिने हो है. So we're gonna have that from our audience or from our participants here, but also people joining us live from YouTube. You can give our participants some token of love through your words as well. So यसरी कुराकानी गर्दा गर्दा मसँग चाहिँ पछाडि सुमित्रा पनि छ amongst our participants who has been helping me out throughout this workshop, and she will also be our sacrificial poet for today, so she's getting ready. सुमित्राको भदैनी पनि एकदम एक्साइटेड भएर सुनिरहेछ जस्तो लागिरहेछ. Okay, we're going to start in a bit. त्योभन्दा अगाडि सुमित्रा do your poem. We'll do our gratitude giving of token of love as well. अनि त्यसपछि if you need to add anything for our audience or anything, I leave that to you as well. Hi. Okay. So Sumitra is going to take over. She's going to spotlight herself and she's going to be our sacrificial poet. Here's Sumitra.
Okay. Hello. Sorry. Okay. The title of my poem is Fossil. I cannot fall in love because I have been sinking in love for years. It's no more cold or hot here. No other rooms to go, no waves to push me away, no more death to pull me down. All I have is a light and a darkness. I can be here either holding your hand, or holding all my feelings for forever. And one day, someone will find the fossil, and no one can stop falling in love with it. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna cancel the spotlight.
Thank you, Sumitra. So Sumitra is our all-rounder person right now, a poet, a participant, also like looking at our technical part of this whole live. So she's doing a lot of things. So thank you, Sumitra. Okay, so what are people moved to give Sumitra right now? Anybody can share.
I would like to give her this yellow egg.
The yellow egg, Sumitra. More people?
I'd give her an energy drink if I had it around, because she needs to, she really seems to need one right
Yeah,
now.
she's been working really hard. Okay, perfect. And one more person.
I'd like to give this pen to Sumitra so that she never stops writing.
I can hear Sumitra saying. Sumitra, do you want to take that?
Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. So this is how we're going to go. We're gonna come up, we're gonna share, and we're gonna also be sharing out. And we're also gonna be like giving our performers token of appreciation. अनि युट्युबमा चाहिँ जो जे आइरहेछ त्यो चाहिँ Sumitra is gonna help us put it in our chat here on Zoom, so that we can read out some of the token of appreciation words that people are sending us through YouTube as well. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our participant. Ani हाम्रो first participant who's gonna come up and share his poem is all the way from Baglung, and I really appreciate Ruskin. उहाँको नाम Ruskin हो. So I really appreciate how present he's been throughout this workshop, and inside मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ थाहा छ होला, like how even though we don't see him, we've always felt him, and his claps have been exactly on time. So I really appreciate that. I call on stage Ruskin on stage on this Zoom interface to share his poem. Take it over, Ruskin.
Hello everyone. So मेरो नाम स्किल गुप्ता हो। यसमा गुप्ता यो किताबले सारोले त्यतिहरू सिकेर अझै हुन्छले चाहिँ कुरा सिकेछु सबैलाई सम्झन सक्छु। कविताको शीर्षक हो सूर्यास्त। Hello. सुन्नु नमस्ते सबैलाई। मेरो नाम के शुक्र हो। म सुनाउने कविता कार्यशाला भयो मैले जे कुरा देखेँ आजको सम्म मैले जति कुरा सिकेको यी सब समेटेर गरेको कविको शीर्ष हो स्वास्थ्य दिनु परमेश्वर पढ्दगार तिमी प्रेमा जस्तो भएको थियो जिम्ना माता सोटामा सचुलेको छ त्यस्तो मर्नी गाएर पाएपछि मन लाग्यो मध्यम छ आकाश देखाउँयो तिमी दिनहरू त्यसाको बाटो नाचेछौ त्यसैले मलाई नि जीवनकै बाटो त्यसरी लिन मन छ पेली बयानबाट प्रशिक्षित हेर्छु प्रत्येक खसेर हिँड्दाखेरि रङ छौ त्यसैले तपाईँको निबन्धको एउटी भाडा रङ्गीन छ रातमा त्यहाँ भेटेर राख्यो
Okay. So sorry. So हाम्रो यो इन्टरफेसहरुमा चाहिँ अर्को प्रब्लम चाहिँ यो हुने गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ रस्किन तिम्रो पोम चाहिँ we could hear you but we couldn't hear you clearly. So what we're going to try and do is come back to you again. Or also send us हामीलाई टेक्स्ट पठाइदिनु भयो भने हामीले त्यो फेरि एकचोटि पढ्ने चाहिँ ट्राई गर्छौँ है clear नहुँदाखेरि चाहिँ we want to make sure that we do justice to your poem because I'm sure you've written such a beautiful poem. We want to be able to hear it clearly. So सकेसम्म चाहिँ हामीलाई तपाईको टेक्स्ट पठाइदिराख्नु फेरि we're going to try and come back to you. If not, if it does not work out technically चाहिँ we're going to read it out for you. Hi. Okay. Thank you, Ruskin. Ahileको लागि चाहिँ we're gonna give you a lot of love for just being here and also trying that out. And we're sending you a lot of support as well. अनि पछि चाहिँ हामी तपाईको wordsहरु फेरि राम्ररी सुन्छौं है ल. Okay, so we're gonna move to our second performer and second performer Ruskin पछि चाहिँ हामीसँग Cecil हुनुहुन्छ. So Cecil, if you're ready, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Hi, I'm Cecil. First things first, I'd like to thank Word of Warriors for 1 week poetry session. मेरो बारेमा भन्नुपर्दा I was never into poetry के भन्नाले I used to do writings and journals and especially your lockdown ko बेलामा I was so much captivated by your poemsहरु पढ्न थाले मैले अनि अझै writersहरु पनि explore गर्न थाले अनि त्यही टाइममा चाहिँ I came to know about this session and just to because I wanted to write more, I joined the session. So it's gonna be my first ever poem, except for that what I've written हाम्रो session भरिमा. This is gonna be my first ever poem and this is the first ever time I'm gonna recite something that I've written. So the title is Plethora of Emotions and it goes like this. We paint our lives in canvas and panels as a big perfect picture with crayons and pencils. But is this what is served? Maybe if our lucky stars are aligned. The truth is, we don't receive life in a handful or a platter, and never in 100 years, life's all rosy, but conversely very black and never glossy. Not sure if I'm directionless or all I belong is nowhere, when it should be black and completely white. The world that I am in seems to be gray and in between. There is always going to be parts of you that you'll feel incomplete, and maybe we share the same story of moments just to sit and cry for. Because sometimes that's all they are, so colorless yet so colorful. Heart full of love and warmth never hurts, but while encompassing this delicate thing too, higher the chances that we derail in this encrypted world of love. Voluntary denial of the trap set by heart teaches in a never-ending circle that it's not always the heart that breaks, sometimes it's the brain too. Just be your wonderful self, Everybody says it, nobody means it, because life's not just a poised bouquet of hydrangeas or like all your favorite shades of the blue. That's how, for a million obvious reasons, we pretend that our ship's not sinking. We build our own catastrophe, and that's pretty saddening, but easier sensed. That said, certain things in life are lost forever, yet all these pieces at the end make sense. For instance, dying on your own fire, turning ashes into flames. Thank you so much.
Yay, thank you, Cecil. Okay, for that beautiful poem, do we have words, tokens of love that we're giving out, participants?
I want to give Sizzle beautiful colors.
Okay. I want to give you a piece of paper to bake it more with more words.
Yay.
I also wanted to give her all the colors there is in the world and to remind her that she's a very beautiful and a very colorful butterfly. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Cecil, I would also like to give you because it's right here. I want to give you my lipstick because I love this and I love your hair today. And I also was like, ooh, I wanted to give you my lipstick as well. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to right. So we're also like in conversation with Ruskin. He is going to be either back with his words or we're gonna read out his poem. All right. So next performer that we have, next person that is gonna come here to share her poem, and I believe like Cecil, Anushruti, who's our next performer, is also sharing her words in a big crowd for the first time, like with a bigger audience for the first time. So I'm very happy, very excited. She's joining us from Pokhara for the workshop and for this sharing session. So Anushruti, take it over.
Thank you so much, Ujwala Di, and thank you so much, Sumitra Di and World Warriors Nepal for this whole situation. Also, thank you everyone, all the participants. You've been really warm and friendly throughout it all. I feel really encouraged talking to a few of you. I'm on Shruti, by the way. Also, as we said earlier, this is my first time sharing to a wider platform, and my heart's beating really fast right now. So I'll just start. The first poem that I'm going with is Abandoned Objects and Abandoned Me. I wrote it in a rush of emotions, so it's just mixed up. That's one. Uh, Save me for your rainy day, for when you want comfort in the arms of a lover you pushed away. Store me in a box you keep for things that you no longer need, and glance at me just once in months when your feelings take a turn. On my best days, I'm kept wishing you'd place me in your shelf for things you reach out for another instance. Of books you reach out for another instance, run your fingers through my spine, relieve our stories just one more time. Um, there's also this other one that I wrote during the workshop, and it's about my dream catcher. As you can see, it's a conversation through the perspective of my dream catcher, and it goes like this. I spend my days hanging by the window, gently swaying with the breeze. They say I'm pretty with my tangles and extensions. They look at me and their eyes reflect hopes, hopes for merrier dreams. There's a story behind me, you see, one that says I hold mystical powers, that I catch your bad dreams as you sleep and I return them to you all filtered and decorated. They see magic in me, and while that perks me up on some days, on others I'm just a fragile dream catcher with colors stolen from the rainbow. I spend my days hanging by the window, violently dangling when a harsh wind passes by, with my beads clicking, my arms of feather so dainty, and my threads all knotted. Don't you ever wonder who catches on my dreams? That was all. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you so much, Anushruti. Before I ask people, I would like to give you lots of sweet dreams and more people.
I'd like to give Anushriti this dream catcher that I have, just because.
Great. And one more person or two more.
I was about to share
Uh,
my dream catcher with you too. This goes to you.
Oh wow, so many dream catchers. Perfect. Zanana?
Actually, I was also gonna say Dreamcatcher, but now I would like to give her the wind so that her Dreamcatcher can swing.
Great, perfect. All right, Anushruti, you have tons of dream catchers and the wind as well, and some really sweet dreams. All right, now we're gonna move from Anushruti to Anu, and Anu's joining us from Kathmandu, and we're really excited to hear her poems. Over to you, Anu.
Hello, people. This is Anu from Lalitpur. Uh, so my poem for today is called Terrace. Of course, there are evenings when deep breath in and deep breath out are too shallow for your feeling. It is one of those evenings, and I mount upstairs to fetch my lungs some fresh oxygen. This rough concrete floor with lichen on its brick walls is kind enough to let me walk out my stress on its old backbone. As I walk back and forth, to the left, to the right, a vicious cycle of thinking, rethinking, and overthinking takes over me. Suddenly, a gust of southeast wind tosses my hair, pierces my body right through its softness, whispers something obscure but beautiful, and for a moment, everything turns into a slow-mo picture. Silhouettes of birds flying west take my discomfort with them and vanish to the purplish red tints of sky in the horizon. City lights flicker with hopes. Cicadas sing love in the cornfields. Rainbow peace flag from my neighbor's roof flutters at its best. Mom's kitchen flavors flee from the window to blend in the air, and I can already taste the dinner. In the house next to ours, there is a boy with phone in his hand and earphones on his ears. He strolls round and round on his terrace, but never goes anti-clockwise. Far distant, children are shouting and jumping over the walls. Their voices are indistinct, but they sound happy. And by now, I am happy too. Terrace here in the evening is not just terrace for me, but an escape from my own gravity, an excuse to be that vagrant cloud bursting out of its shape to disappear into nothing. Maybe sometimes happiness is all about finding yourself. Maybe sometimes finding yourself is all about forgetting yourself. I wish I could stay here for a little while, but I cannot deny call for dinner. As mom sits table for dinner, she asks, "What do you do on the terrace for so long?" I smile and say, "I forget myself." Thank you.
Anu, that was beautiful. And I love my terrace as well. So I think, I could relate to that so much. Thank you so much. All right, people, what do you want to give Anu and her poem?
I would like to give Anu this tiny lamp. Her poem made me feel really warm. It was nice.
We're taking more. Internet lag by keyboard.
Okay, I'd like to give Anu a piece of my terrace too, so that she can come here and spend some time. It was really beautiful.
And one more person.
I'd like to give Anu, I don't have it around, but I like to give her my favorite poetry book because I go to the terrace at evenings and read my favorite poems over there. So yeah.
Great.
I'd like to give Anu this hairbrush so that she can comb her hair like while she's chilling at her terrace.
Perfect. Great. Okay. So, before I call out on next participant, I will actually read a poem myself as well. अनि यो poem चाहिँ हामीले longing and belonging भन्ने word warriors chapbook. It's one of the seven chapbooks that we now have out. अनि यसमा चाहिँ we have a collection of poems from like how many people we have collection of poems from like 10 11 people here, some of my favorite poets and some of my favorite people and friends. This poem is called Mama Ghar. I wrote this poem in one of the workshops, not this workshop, but in one of the workshops that I was a participant of. This one is called Mama Ghar. It's changed from how it was here, but Mama Ghar. I remember crawling up from under my ba's arms as he opened the door to his side of the wooden daraj, with his coats, istacoats, Tora surwal hanging, and smelling of mothballs for the first time. My baja would sit in a sunny corner of the room, smoking his baja and filling up the air with white smoke. My ma would sit cross-legged on the floor, magically pulling out threads from white cotton balls. She smelled of tori tail and dhoop. I remember my auntie, perched in front of my mama, their faces so close, their breaths intermingled as she sang his favorite song. And my mama, always at his best, always at his calmest when with her, would follow her tunes in tongues we'd never fully understood. I remember my sister and I used to trick my brother into sleep by making up names of boots that would come after little boys who wouldn't take their afternoon naps, just so we could sneak out to play. During many of those games, I would see Mummy walk back from work with her friends. Sometimes I stared at her face for so long it turned into a face of a stranger, someone I'd like to get to know better. On occasions that Daddy visited Mamagar, my sister would hide me under the sofa so that he would not take us back to his car that reeked of cigarettes and too many people playing tas all the time. There, I waited and watched his feet as he made conversation that drift to, "Where's Uju?" And I would cover my mouth and giggle at how clever Uju was, hiding right under his nose, never to be found by him. But Auntie always did. Sometimes she'd find little Uju sound asleep, covered in fluffy dust, and gently carry her to bed. My sister, me, and my brother, we used to take turns sleeping right next to Auntie and wake up in the morning smelling like her. That was my mama ghar, the first ghar I called my ghar, until Auntie left and Daddy decided he wanted us back at his ghar. At his quietest, when Baz Mohammed Rafi songs were not playing, when Mama was not in his beatboxing mood, when Baja wasn't complaining, Mama Ghar sounded of tube lights, the swinging pendulum of a grandfather clock, and gurgles from the aquarium filter. It sounds a lot like that nowadays. Mama Ghar has now shifted to a bigger ghar that does not smell of Rato Mato, Baja's Baja, Tori Kotel, or Auntie. Abandoned, the aging father and the son who never grows up follow sunny corners in a room all day long, as is sounds of tube lights, a pendulum, the aquarium, and occasional yoba, hozur chora, loud pecks of kisses, sabbas. And I watch and desperately cling on to the smell of mothballs. Thank you. So that was a poem about my mama ghar. People moved to give me something at this point.
I would read this tiny box because you're full of surprises, and every poem you recite is amazing. And yes.
I don't really get to spend time in my mama ghar, but I have been there once, and it's so cold there. I love to give you some cold wind.
I think I would just want to give you a warm pat on the back because your poem feels very warm.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And Sumitra, you were also saying that you would like to read out some YouTube comments that we're getting, or YouTube well wishes that we're getting.
Yeah, I will read as I'll get comment YouTube ma. So like हामीले जस्तै साथीहरूले पठाउँनुहुन्छ मैले च्याटमा पठाइरहेको थिएँ अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ I'm thinking to read it. So अहिले चाहिँ रबिन बेस्ट से मिस यु सरी रबिना बेस्ट से मिस यु उज्वला दी and Vishnu is sending love Ujjwala di. Sorry, Summer Moon Stone sending you, giving you a hugs.
Thank you. And we also had someone send oh, okay. No, that was your chat moment. Okay, all right, thank you so much, Sumitra. But yeah, let's do that. Let's take in comments that are popping up on YouTube. We're going to move to our next participant who has two guitars hanging beside her, and we're always like wondering the music that she can also play. All right, so this is Priyanjali. Over to you.
Hi, am I audible? Okay, so my name is Priyanjali, and I wrote this poem as about something that really fascinates me, that has been fascinating me my whole life. It's like a letter to the ocean. So here it goes. Dear ocean, you've always made me wonder how can you be something so wild, yet something so calm at the same time? How can you hold on to the edges of the earth, yet never seem to fall upon the empty space that we all look up to? How there's no lives you can't hold and no smiles you can't fold? How, when you come, you always come followed by the massive space you belong to. There's no curve to your wildness and no reach to your freedom. There's no map on earth that can show you where to go, and no road of stones that can build your way over the fierce subtlety of strength you're made of. With every lush on the tip of your wave, you seem to turn the whole world around. And with every brush that runs across your cold breeze of fingers, you make me wonder, how do you do it? How do you stay awake all night listening to the moon call upon you? And as the moon falls asleep with your kind and tender alohas and salutations, you watch the sun rays grace your waters, letting its warm spirit sink beneath your deep mystery. How do you let the earth pull you closer with every small wave and calm you down with every storm stave that passes by? How does the rain cuddle upon your wet comfort as if it's so easy? How do you dance upon the wicked beat of thunder as though no power whatsoever can scare you? As though no power whatsoever is bigger than your courage. The courage to take on what's yours and admire what's not. I've always wanted to be like you. I've always wanted to run like the whole world belonged to me, like the universe had nothing against me to hold grudges over. I've always wanted to stay afloat on my own body, where no knives can sink and no flowers can die, to hold on to my own and be enough for my own, fall upon my own. I've always wanted to talk to the moon and ask it, where are my waves? Where is my freedom? I've always wanted to ask the sun, why don't you shine through me and reflect on my coverings too? To ask the earth, why am I the only one you never hold on to? Why do you always let me trip over my own doubts and fall upon my own despair? Did I do something wrong? Am I not worthy enough? So, dear ocean, I never really got to tell you this, but you inspire me, and I want to be just like you. I want to feel what you feel, and I want to see what you see. I want to be as wild as you, so wild that nothing could ever stop me, not even me. Thank you.
Yay, Priyanjali, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. People who are moved to share what they want to share with Priyanjali.
I want to send Priyanjali some waves of ocean.
I would like to give her a ship or a boat so that she can sail through the oceans and admire it.
Oh, I'm thinking to give you a surfing board so you can be surfer, very khatra surfer.
And Sumita, do we also have people on YouTube?
Yeah, we got lots of hearts, and Nasib Kesi gives her a beautiful slide of sea haze, aka sea freight.
I want to give her courage for all her voyages. She probably knows why.
Perfect. All right, that is beautiful. Thank you so much, Priyanjali, again. All right, so now we're going to move on to our another participant, and our next participant is Nana. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zanana, and the writing that I'm going to be sharing today is a prompt that I wrote during the workshop. It's a prompt about a happy place that I wrote to my past self. So it goes like this. To where I once was, tell me something. How does it feel to be tucked away at the most blissful corner of my mind, free of the earthquakes that strikes my head now and then? Tell me, are you happy there? In case I sound unfamiliar, it's me. Well, it's you, just a few years later. I wish I could tell you to soak all the good there was then, at a place where the two seas collided. The smell of salt in the air and the sound of raindrops coming together as one with the crashing of waves. The remaining paint on your hands after a workshop and the aftertaste of licorice still lingering in your tongue. I hope you hold on to these a little tighter for days like storms that are yet to come. Remember who you're with. Your friend with golden hair. Your friend with golden hair, bright enough to be able to guide me through the dark. And the times as we rolled down the sand dunes with, and everything went silent in the midst of chaos. And your friend who always seemed a little haughty, but the day you forgot to pack your lunch offered to give you a half of his. The friends you occasionally call now at 3 a.m. just to talk about small things because the time zones don't seem to match. And now, after all this while, our long bike rides, which we wanted to end so badly then, seem to be one of the first things to come to mind when I recall myself being genuinely happy. So, was it the rainy day at the beach? The sandhills? The endless empty roads ahead of us? Or was it the people, the friends you never gave a second thought to that ended up making it your happy place? Your very own happy memory, tucked away at the very corner of your mind, just close enough for you to go and fetch it once the thunder soars and lightning strikes. Thank you.
Oh, what happened? Yay, thank you so much. I did something with my computer bakar. Anyways, thank you so much, Zanana. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, people, what are we giving Zanana right now?
I would like to give Sanana this tiny mirror because sometimes it feels like she doesn't see how much of an amazing person she is. And I also give you all my love, Z, and I hope that one day you see what we all see in you, which is just beauty.
Aww.
I'd like to give Zinana a piece of the galaxy on my shirt because her words deserve to be heard by the universe. It was so beautiful.
Thank you,
I
everyone.
would like to give Banana all my favorite colors and also Gimbap because I've heard she likes it too. But I don't have it right now, so maybe we can go and have it together one day, hopefully.
Thank you, Sujal.
I'd like to give Zanana some chocolate because she's really sweet, and the writing that she just recited was sweet as well.
And Neeraj gives you a time machine and Nasheeb gives you a photo album.
Beautiful, beautiful, everybody. That was like some beautiful gifts that you're receiving, Zanana. Okay. And we're almost like, I think we're like good with time. We're this is an hour long sharing session that we planned, and we're at our second last performer for our session. And she is someone who's been like lighting up our Zoom sessions with her cute froggy pics. Let's take it over, Aditi.
Hi everyone. I'm Aditi Sherpa, and I'm also going to be sharing a poem that I wrote during this workshop. Speaking of which, it was amazing, and everyone I met here was amazing, and the whole experience was amazing. This is a poem I wrote as a duibaje. I completed it. And if it sounds like I'm about to cry, just ignore it. Yes, this one's called You and Yours. Endless conversations tied together with unsynced voices. I look for metaphors to explain how much I love you. I see you smile. I know perfection isn't real, but I've never seen anyone get so close before. You told me how you're learning how to program, how it's a bunch of numbers and letters, how you could build websites or video games with them. I am fascinated. Numbers never really sat right with me. I could only imagine how it all must work. You whispering in codes, hoping, I think, that your message gets across, how intimate that must be. How you could build so much with just letters and numbers, how I try to do the same. I smile. We seem to find each other in the smallest parts of ourselves. There is still familiarity in the most unfamiliar parts of you. So I tell you how I painted today, how the colors felt just right, how they seemed to reach out to touch one another, how they changed in each other's company, how warm they felt once they were together. You see, I whisper in codes too. And when I tell you how if you stare at your own paintings for too long, you start to hate it, I am whispering still, hoping, I think, that you'll understand that I have been stuck with myself my entire life. I still look for metaphors to better explain my emotions. You, rain on the second day of plantation, but you, drought a week before harvest. Me, a crop whose roots are dug in too deep, stubborn and standing, resilient, but for what? Selfishly, from where I am, I could see a flood as a blessing. There are a million metaphors that could better explain this. Metaphors that could cradle these emotions gently in their arms, while I seem to be grabbing them by the throat. And maybe there's a metaphor in all this too. My thoughts, ashes of what we once were, now scattered. My words, teardrops running down the side of a face, somehow still reaching for your ears. My heart, now a showpiece at an abandoned museum. What metaphor is there that could better explain how I feel right now? Me, your keys, wishing, missing your fingertips now that you're away. Me, a flag on the moon, wishing for a gust of wind that does not exist. Me, a candle in the open, hearing distant sounds of thunder. What metaphor is there that could shout out how much I still love you? I wonder if metaphors will ever be enough anyway. And you are not the rain or the drought. We are both crops on the same land, wishing for the same rain. And on days where we believe that there is no sun because all we see are clouds, I'd love to spread out my roots to find yours. But we are just crops. Our roots look for just water, not each other. Maybe there are metaphors that could explain how I feel right now. But I don't think I need them anymore. You are not the rain or the drought or the crop. You are but a man looking to love and to be loved. And I am but me looking for the same. Thank you.
Yay. So beautiful. Thank you, Aditi. And people, what are you moved to give Aditi and her poem?
I'd like to give Aditi this ribbon because her poem was very pretty, just like her.
I want to give her although she says in the poem itself that she's not a metaphor, but I want to describe her with all the beautiful metaphors out there, even though there won't be enough to describe how wonderful she herself is and how wonderful her writing is, because yeah, I just want to do that.
Perfect. And more people?
I would like to send Aditi more hugs and more diverse metaphors because with the emotion that she just recited the poem, that sums up all. That was so beautiful, Aditi.
Yay.
Yeah, okay, got lots of comments. It's love, amazing, and beautiful. And yeah, Unheard Voice have virtual hugs for you. And somebody have given you the universe, kisses, and yeah, and lots of heart.
I think I also saw frogs, so probably a lot of cute frog pictures too. All right. Thank you, Aditi. So now we have our last participant who's gonna share her poem, and then we're gonna come back and read Ruskin poem as well. All right. Take it over, Supriya.
Hi, everyone. I'm Supriya Pudasaini, Supri. It has been a wonderful experience throughout this workshop with everyone. Everyone has been so warm, welcoming. And today I'm sharing my poem that I wrote last minute because I procrastinated a lot. Here I go. It's titled Bowls versus Plates. I like bowls better than plates. You see, bowls make sense to me. Attention, some drawbacks to bowls. Their pronunciation is quite tricky to me. I'm talking about bowls like souls. Bowls reminds me of basketball, football, and how I can never play them in a game, but maybe play them in a play. Reminds me of the time my mom cut my hair bowl cut shape and I had to go to school looking like Dora the Explorer. Bowls are better at bowling with friends or brawling at a night bar, bowing down to elders, and also making bowel jokes. Plates are better at Pilates. I don't know, no hate to the plate, but try eating ramen off a plate and watch it spill and spill. See, this is why balls are better. The plate cannot contain my emotions. It displays my lack of morals, like as if it's on sale for 99 cents. The plate mocks me for gulping my thoughts down with noodles. The plates remind me of the loose ends, leaves me hanging mid-air like the string of spaghetti dangling off its side. Doesn't reply to my texts. Plates ignore me. Plates bore me. They're boring. It holds no surprise except when it unknowingly risks my shame and exposes my vulnerability to the audience of the restaurant I'm eating spaghetti at. The Super Bowl sounds amazing. And how lame does the super plate sound? The ball holds my emotions together, embraces me. It masks my shame and hides my imperfections in layers. The top layer seems mysterious, but you never know what's going on inside. Take a spoon and grab a bite. Your spoon will get gulped down like I gulp my noodles, like I swallow my manners, my thoughts, and myself. A plate could never hold my emotions. It's barely holding itself. A relative once said to me, grow up and eat on a plate. The problem is I never grew up. You see, the circular ceramic walls, which tastes like cold cement and feels like home, just kept growing bigger, loomed my body like sun as my shadow kept getting smaller and as my ball kept getting smaller. Don't tell me I have to eat on a plate. Don't tell me I need more food. You're acting like the demon plate that haunts me with a bowl cut every night. Just because you don't have to fight my food fight, my food fight doesn't mean you can command this war. You can also have a perfectly composed Beyblade match on a ball, by the way. You see, plates, they trigger my body fat. Maybe I like balls because it reminds me of me. Plates have slick, clean, slim design, perfectly liked by everyone, the main course of every party. While I'm sorry. Well, balls are served with soup. Who wants soup when you can have a perfectly pristine meal on a plate outside the life of this party? Ice cream, please consider my ball, my soul. It's all I have to offer. I hope someday I'll say, I want more meals. I want more meals on a ball, not just soup, not just oatmeal. Give me something daring on a ball. I want to see pizza served in balls. I want balls to rock their curves and be brave. I hope one day plates and balls will be best friends and gossip about spoon and fork, joke about how they're each other's ball mates, oops, soulmates, and maybe then I'll put myself on a plate and let my imperfections spill. Thank you.
Thank you, Supriya. Lovely poem. All right, people, what are you moved to share with Supriya and her poem? Hello? Okay, my
Okay.
internet is giving me trouble. Yeah.
I want to give Supriya a fork that she can use with both ball or plate.
Perfect. And more people?
My favorite ceramic cup for Supriya. One second. Because a warm drink is always a good idea.
Hey, more people?
I would like to give Supriya a piece of my heart that also appreciates bowls more than plates.
I like to gives you a bowl full of momos and very spicy chutney.
I can think of a bowl of pho. Like pho are my favorite things in the world. So I want to give you a bowl of pho that plates can never hold. All right. So that was Supriya. Can people still hear me clearly? My internet just acted up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because what I'm trying to do is an important thing, and I don't want to mess it up, and I don't want my internet to mess it up. So, Ruskin, who's been with us throughout this workshop, sent his poem because his internet has not been stable, and there's been some technical difficulty. So, उसको पोमको नाम चाहिँ सूर्यास्त छ यो पोम अलि लामो लामै छ अनि मैले यो अहिले जुमको च्याटबाट पढिरहेको छु so I hope I do my best. This is Ruskin's poem, सूर्यास्त. दिनहुँ प्रातमा सुनौलो पर्दा उगार्छु तिमी भुइँमा छताछुल्लो भई पोखिन्छौ त्यसैले त मलाई नि मुहारमा पारिलो खुसी ल्याउन मन लाग्छ मध्यदिन छतबाट खुल्ला आकाश चिहाउँछु तिमी दिनभर त्यही साँघुरो बाटोमा सरी के भइरह्यो Okay, I'm going to continue. Sorry. मध्यदिन छतबाट खुल्ला आकाश चिहाउँछु तिमी दिनभर त्यही साँघुरो बाटोमा एकनासै हिँड्छौ त्यसैले त मलाई नि जीवन रूपी बाटो त्यसरी नै हिँड्न मन लाग्छ बेलुकी वरान्डाबाट पश्चिमी क्षितिज हेर्छु तिमी प्रत्येक दिन खसेर भिन्दा भिन्दै रङ पोच्छौ त्यसैले त मलाई पनि जीवनको अन्त्य एउटै गाढा र रंगीन लाग्छ त्यसैले त मलाई पनि जीवनको अन्त्य एउटै गाढा र रंगीन लाग्छ राति म तिमीलाई भेटाउने रहर राख्छु तर तिमी सम्झना र सपनामा मात्र सीमित रहन्छौ त्यसैले त मलाई पनि भोलिलाई आशाहरू साँचेर निदाउन मन लाग्छ हो मलाई तिमी मेरो जीवन जस्तै लाग्दछौ वसन्तमा नाच्ने शिशिरमा भाग्ने बर्खाको समयमा कालो बादलमा ओझेल भई झुलुक्क इन्द्रेणीसँग हाँस्ने हो मलाई तिमी म जस्तै लाग्दछ तिमी उदाएपछि मलाई नि उदाउन मन लाग्छ तर म निस्सार जीवनदेखि नयाँ सृन्छु तिमी चर्किएपछि मलाई नि चर्किन मन लाग्छ तर म सक्दिन र ओत लाग्छु तिमी अस्ताएपछि मलाई नि अस्ताउन मन लाग्छ तर म डुब्दिन र बिलौना लेख्छु तिमी निदाएपछि मलाई नि निदाउन मन लाग्छ तर म सक्दिन र जुन तारा खोज्छु समानता देखिए पनि तिमी र म त भिन्न रहेछौ तिमी भोलि फेरि डुबेर उदाउन सक्ने रहेछौ तर मलाई मेरो बारे केही थाहा छैन तर मलाई मेरो बारे केही थाहा छैन मरेपछि पूर्ण जन्म हुन्छ हुँदैन तर मलाई केही थाहा छैन कसैले बोलाएपछि म झस्केर मुन्टो घुमाउँछु छेउमा फुर्र धुवा फ्याक्दै बसेको बाजे देख्छु तिमीतिर इशारा गरेर बाजेले भन्दै थिए अघि कालो चस्मा लाएर आउनेले कालै देखे तर यी बाबुले चाहिँ लेख देख्ने भए अघि काला चस्मा लाएर आउनेले कालै देखे तर यी बाबुले चाहिँ लेख देख्ने भए सूर्यास्त डाँडाको टुप्पामा आएको मौकामा आँखा डुल्दैछ फेदमा खोला छेउ केही पटपट चलिरहेको छ जलिरहेको बाट बाख्ला धुवा उड्दैछ र सुनौला बादलतिर भाग्दैछ र बग्दै बग्दै बादलमा मिसिँदैछ सूर्यास्त धन्यवाद रस्किनले पठाएको यो I hope I did justice to this. This is a really beautiful poem, Ruskin. I knew it was going to be a really beautiful poem. So I wanted to hear it and I wanted everybody to hear it. Ruskin kai आवाजमा चाहिँ हामीले अहिले सुन्न पाएनौं तर फेरि कुनै दिन मिलाएर सुन्न पाउने छौं होला. So Ruskin को कविता र Ruskin को लागि हामी के दिदै छौं त अहिले?
All the powers of nature to Ruskin because he seems to really appreciate it so well.
Yeah. Aruru?
I would love to give a doll viewpoint hill to him for the sunset view.
Yeah.
I'd like to give Ruskin these colorful green markers so that he can make trees.
Great. Okay. हाम्रो अनलाइनमा पनि के छ?
Oh, we got claps. Lots of claps for Ruskin. Boom.
Yeah, and again,
just received a sunrise for him.
सूर्यास्तसँगै सूर्योदय पनि. Okay. Great. I really appreciate हाम्रो यो जुन यो virtual workshops-हरु भइरहेछ virtual spaces-मा we're always like encouraging people camera on राख्नु यो गर्नु त्यो गर्नु भनेर but even with all like the difficulties that these your virtual world presents, I was very appreciative of all of our participants who stayed tight, and Ruskin too, though he's not with us in Zoom, I'm sure he's watching us through YouTube or Kotewata. All right, perfect. So this is we're coming to a close of our sharing session. This has been so amazing. Thank you everyone for sharing your poems. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Sumitra, for all the multitasking work that you are doing, because this person does not know how to multitask at all. So I really appreciate your superpower right now. Sumitra, is there anything that you would like to share before we close this session?
Also, thank you for all the people who join us on YouTube. And thank you, I'm a big participant. आफ्नो पोम शेयर गर्नेमा हाम्रो सक्यो मिसन सक्सेसफुल भयो हाम्रो and I'm also happy I got to share and yeah, have a good day.
All right, perfect. So this was President Poetry Sharing Session 1. We're doing more poetry, more President Poetry workshops in the coming months. Yo workshops चाहिँ हामीले again अस्ति अघि भने जस्तै पाइलट सेसनमा चाहिँ हाम्रो बुक बस इन्स्ट्रक्टर्स वर्ड वरिज इन्स्ट्रक्टर्सहरूसँग गर्दै यसलाई सुधार्दै सुधार्दै त्यसमा थप्दै हुन्छ नि एडिट गर्दै हामीले चाहिँ इम्प्रुभ गर्दै लगिरहेका छौँ र अघिल्लो अघिल्लो पछिल्लो सेसन्सहरू वर्कसप सेसन्सहरूमा पनि यहाँ बाट हामी अझ बढी इम्प्रुभ गर्दै लैजानेछौँ अरू पछिल्लो सेसन्समा हाम्रो नयाँ नयाँ भन्नाले हाम्रो अरू वर्कसप वर्ड वरियर्सका इन्स्ट्रक्टर्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ सुमित्रा दिपा सुरेन्द्र प्रकाश उहाँहरूले पनि वर्कसपहरू गरिरहनुहुन्छ अनि त्यो डेट्सहरूको लागि चाहिँ चाँडै नै we're gonna make it public अनि हामीसँग अस्ति I think we had around 41 people who filled up the form to participate in these workshops. So we're gonna start with people who have already filled up the form and maybe continue this on and take it to more people. All right, so iti भन्दै again book bus Nepal Kyoto's Cove lai dhanyawad didai. Kyoto's Cove is our parent organization who's doing a lot of cool things right now, and book bus is also a project that is run by Kyoto's Cove. अनि book bus सँगै book bus मा चाहिँ हामीले यसरी नै वर्कसपहरू ठाउँ ठाउँमा लग्थ्यौं. We used to be like traveling to all these places. Right now we're traveling and doing something that we can never do in physical spaces, being in places like Butwal, Baglung, Pokhara, and Kathmandu, Lalitpur, and all these places at the same time. So that's pretty cool about this virtual world thing. So again, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Participants, we are gonna see each other after this live on our Zoom session again. People who tuned in through YouTube, thank you very much, and hope you keep connected. Hope you share this with more people. And that's it. Take care.